This is Ellie Sunman, a social media influencer and content creator. Recently, Ellie posted a video titled, "A Day in the Life Without Black Inventions." And like my previous videos on the subject, I'm sure that you can guess that Ellie's video, while well-intentioned, will largely be inaccurate.
A day in a life without black inventions. First, I turn on the light, which can only last for 14 hours, so we've got to make the most of the day.
And Ellie's video is already on the road to failure because the light bulb itself wasn't a black invention. Lewis Latimer and his partner Joseph V. Nichols received a patent in 1881 for new and useful improvements in incandescent electric lamps. Latimer would later attain a patent in 1882 pertaining to improvements in the manufacture of carbon filaments. So Lewis Latimer developed and patented a process that reduced breakages during the production process of the carbon filaments that were used in incandescent light bulbs. But what he did not do, however, was make a longer-lasting light bulb. In 1879, Edison's light bulb only lasted 14.5 hours. But by 1880, Edison and his team had already figured out how to improve their carbon filament that gave the bulbs a lifetime of up to 1,200 hours. Lewis Latimer was not part of that team, as he didn't work for Edison until 1884. Now when it comes to Ellie, none of this should matter, because as you can see, when Ellie records the light with her phone, the video is flickering. That means that the bulb is a light-emitting diode or LED light bulb, which is completely different than an incandescent light bulb. Okay, moving on.
I go downstairs to find that my home has been burgled! Ah, right. There's no such thing as a home security system.
Ellie is referring to Marie Van Britten Brown, who along with her husband Albert Brown, were granted a patent for an audio-video alarm system for households. The invention included video surveillance, complete with a speaker and a microphone to communicate over radio waves with whoever was at the door, as well as buttons to operate the door lock, alert a guard, or sound an alarm. However, the Browns' home security system was never physically produced or installed. This is more of a concept than an actual invention, and it's not like closed-circuit TV or alarms didn't exist before Brown came up with her idea, but apparently she is the first to consider bringing these items to the home, and she's the first to receive a patent for it, and technically, that means Ellie isn't wrong, so we'll give it to her.
Oh, it's freezing. I go to turn on the central heating, but then remember I can't, because it's not been invented.
But even if a gas central heating system was never invented, wood fireplaces and coal furnaces still existed previously. But whatever. According to MIT, Parker's patent was not the first for a gas furnace design, but it uniquely involved a multiple yet uniquely controlled burner system. And although her exact design was never implemented due to concerns with regulation of heat flow, her design was an important precursor to the modern heating zone system. Yes, it was imperfect, but her design was an invention nonetheless. However, there's one small issue with Ellie's presentation. According to an investigation by Audrey Henderson for the Energy News Network, this photo is not Alice H. Parker. Henderson writes, "There doesn't even seem to be a verifiable photo of her. One widely distributed photo that accompanies several pieces about Parker is actually a white woman born 5 years after the patent was granted." So by posting a photo of a white woman, Ellie is contributing to Black erasure. And in the middle of Black History Month. Shameful. What?
I go to put my shirt in the automatic dryer, but it hasn't been invented.
Okay, first of all, this is not a photo of George T. Sampson. This is Henry T. Sampson, who is a nuclear and chemical engineer and a pioneer in the technology now used in cell phones. But great job, Ellie. You're doing God's work. Anyway, George T. Sampson invented a new and improved clothes dryer, but it's not something that you can put a shirt in. Sampson wrote, "The object of my invention is to suspend clothing in close relation to a stove by means of frames so constructed that they can be readily placed in proper position and put aside when not required for use. In other words, it's a wire rack designed to hang clothes over a stove. So throw your shirt into the dryer, Ellie. It's all good.
I threw on a new shirt. It's a little creased, but no worries. I'll just iron it. On the floor, because ironing boards haven't been invented.
Couldn't lay your shirt on a counter or a table, Ellie? Or maybe they don't exist in her home because she thinks they're black inventions. Anyway, Sarah Boone did not invent the ironing board because ironing boards existed long before Sarah Boone's invention. For example, there is an improved ironing table that was patented in 1871. Sarah Boone's invention was granted a patent in 1892, and it was created to make it easier to iron the inside seam of a sleeve. And while Sarah Boone clearly did not invent the ironing board, she is regarded as the second African American woman ever to attain a patent, which wouldn't have been easy for her to do in 1892. So that's a pretty big accomplishment.
I am hungry. So we're going to make a peanut butter sandwich, but then realize I have no peanut butter because it hasn't been invented.
Now you might be thinking, wait, George Washington Carver helped towards modern day peanut butter? I thought he invented peanut butter. Well, actually, that's not true. According to the National Peanut Board, there is evidence that ancient South American Incas were the first to grind peanuts to make peanut butter. And John H. Kellogg in 1898 attained a patent for his process of making peanut butter. My new and improved product is made from edible nuts and such other nuts as can easily be blanched or freed from skins, and is a semi-solid having about the same consistence as hard butter or soft cheese. George Washington Carver would not start experimenting with the peanut until 17 years later. So no, he didn't invent peanut butter, which means that he shouldn't have been in a video about a day without black inventions.
That's alright, I'll get a packet of crisps. They don't exist either.
So, as I have covered in a previous video, George Speck, aka George Crumb, did not invent the potato chip. The actual inventor is William Kitchener, MD, who first published his recipe in the book The Cook's Oracle. The recipe for potatoes fried in slices or shavings appeared as far back as 1822, 7 years before George Speck was even born. Now, while George Speck, Crumb, whatever, did have a role in popularizing the potato chip, he was not its creator.
It's okay, I'll go out for food and post my mail on the way. No, I won't, because mailboxes don't exist.
So according to Ellie, mailboxes didn't exist before 1891, and this is stupid considering that Ellie lives in England, home of the iconic pillar box, a design that has been around since at least the 1850s. And according to Wikipedia, Downing was born in 1857. Furthermore, according to a US Patent Office search, the mailbox with the oldest patent was attained in 1858 by Albert Potts for this street letterbox designed to attach to a lamppost. And according to the United States Post Office itself, Potts's design was the first letterbox to be officially sanctioned by the United States Post Office. On March 9, 1858, Philadelphia merchant Albert Potts received a patent for a cast iron letterbox designed to fit over city lampposts. In July 1858, on behalf of the Post Office Department, Potts petitioned Philadelphia's City Council for permission to fasten his boxes to any of the public lampposts. So where does Philip Downing fit into all this? Well, he doesn't really. Downing attained a patent in 1891 for this letterbox design, which featured a lid that protected the inside of the box from the weather and, when lifted, would prevent tampering of the mail that had been dropped in the box. And before you think it, no, Downing was not the first to make a mailbox with an anti-tampering function, as many preceded his design, including this one from 1892. In other words, like dozens of inventors before him, Philip Downing designed a mailbox. But if you search on the internet, Black inventor Philip Downing is the reason for mailboxes. Black history fun fact: Philip B. Downing was also a man of many inventions and patents. His most popular invention was the street letterbox that is still widely used today. Philip Bell Downing, Black creativity seen in everyday objects. Black History Fun Fact Friday, Philip B. Downing and the first mailbox. Of course we know that he didn't invent the first mailbox, but don't tell that to Google.com. Because when you ask who invented the mailbox, Google will tell you that it was Philip Downing. People also ask who invented the mailbox and when. On October 27, 1891, Philip Bell Downing designed the mailbox that we all recognize today. And that's also incorrect. The original designer of those iconic blue mailboxes would be James Van Dorn and the Van Dorn Ironworks Company, who attained a patent for this design in 1906. And as you can see by the illustrated cross-section, this is clearly this.
Well, joke's on you, I didn't get a chance to seal my letters anyway.
So Ellie's claim that no one's invented a way to seal an envelope is stupid, considering that wax had been used to seal envelopes for centuries prior. And for some reason, Ellie is showing an envelope that is sealed by glue, which is not even what Frank W. Leslie invented. His design was a seal made up of two metal discs that would connect to each other, not the lickable envelope we know today. And this is easily one of the biggest issues with Ellie's video. She thinks that she's celebrating Black inventors, but didn't take the time to see exactly what they supposedly invented.
What is that?
Oh, it's just another car crash. Someone should really invent a system that prevents more of those.
I've covered this in past videos, so I will make it short as to not be repetitive. Garrett Morgan invented this traffic signal that needed to be manually operated. It has two indicators, stop and go, which means it's not a three-way traffic light. In other words, Garrett Morgan invented this. He did not invent this. And I have to point out that Ellie's attention to detail leaves much to be desired. Because her blue shirt got wet, she replaced it with a yellow shirt, and now she's wearing the blue shirt again, which is also now dry. Or maybe she thinks continuity is a Black invention and she's not allowed to use it, I don't know.
It's so cold in here, even my nose is dripping. Let me grab a tissue.
Why are they on the floor?
Oh, right. Tissue holders don't exist.
Okay, first of all, Kleenex, the very first paper tissue, was originally, and still is, sold in boxes. So it's not like you'd ever buy them individually and then just dump them on the floor. Second, Kleenex boxes were designed to dispense tissues one at a time since at least 1930. So what about Mary Kenner's tissue holder / box, you ask? Well, it's not even a box, and it's not even for tissues. It was an attachment to improve a toilet paper holder. If Ellie took 5 minutes to look at Kenner's patent, maybe, just maybe, Ellie would have at least thought to herself that it was weird that tissue boxes didn't exist before 1982.
What a die. Let me watch some RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh wait, it's not a thing.
Okay, first of all, no photographs of William Dorsey Swan exist. That's a drag performer named Mr. Brown, but great job, Ellie. But what she did get right is that he was the first. According to contemporaneous newspaper articles, William Dorsey was indeed identified as the Queen, so be proud, Black America. Anyway, it turns out that Ellie has been accused of stealing the day in the life concept from another content creator named Maya Eccles, who hopefully did a better job than Ellie. Let's take a look.
A day in the life without Black inventions. So I wake up and I go to turn on my light, but let's keep in mind it only can be on for 14 and a half hours, so we gotta move quickly here. I get a little cold, so I go to turn on the heat, but then I remember that I cannot use a thermostat.
Why not? Alice Parker didn't invent the thermostat. Never mind.
So I go and brush my teeth, and then I make some iced coffee. Oh wait, I can't make iced coffee because there's no ice in the freezer.
So Maya is saying that a man named John Stannard invented the ice cube tray or something. Except his name is John Stannard, not Standard. In 1891, Stannard attained a patent for a new and improved refrigerator designed for better circulation of cold air from the ice chamber. So this wasn't a place to store ice for your enjoyment of drinks. And because this was not an electric refrigerator, that compartment was for a large block of ice, the sole purpose of which was to keep the refrigerator cold.
So then I go to get my Fashion Nova packages from downstairs, and I would use the elevator, but I can't.
No, you can, because Alexander Miles didn't invent the automatic elevator. But he was awarded a patent for his improvements on elevator doors that automatically opened and closed.
So I'll take the stairs. Oh wait, there's no freaking mailbox.
Oh, this is so dumb. Mail delivery existed long before mailboxes existed. Maya's suggestion that if Philip Downing never invented the mailbox, which he didn't, that mailboxes wouldn't exist today. But that's not how things work. And the same goes for every invention. You can't say that if a certain person didn't invent something, that it would have never been invented by someone else. It just goes against all logic. And because I can only take so much stupidity in one day, that's it for now. Follow me on Twitter at Don'tWalkRun, and be sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. A special thanks to Poofy for her help with the script, and thanks to Uncle Phil on TikTok for bringing the video to my attention. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. If there is next time.